Sophie, so much has changed with H-1B work visas here in America. What are some of the highlights?
We are looking at some really exciting changes coming up that are going to help make the lottery so much more fair for international students. Hopefully, even by next year's lottery in March of 2024. They want to change the lottery system so that each candidate gets one chance to be selected, so that if you're a student or professional going through this process, you no longer need to try to game the system and get multiple offers. You just simply find the job that you want. They're going to put you in once and you get one chance and it's fair. So hopefully we're going to see that level playing field coming out real soon. And then the change that actually has happened now is it's way easier to be a startup founder on an H-1B. So that's really exciting as well.
Yeah, the criteria has changed, so it's going to be where they can even self-sponsor now, right?
Exactly. Legal jargon, technically, the definition of the employer-employee relationship has been interpreted in a different way so that if you are the founder and you have a specialty occupation, you're still allowed to get an H-1B for your startup. And the big takeaway for aspiring founders is it is now okay to own more than 50% of your company, and you no longer need to divest control to a 3-member board that can fire you. So way more ownership and control in the hands of the founders who are the ones who need it. So it's really exciting to see the administration acknowledge the contributions of innovators in our economy.
Yeah, hopefully this is encouraging news. I know that with the H-1B, there were so many multiple entries, multiple selections for people, and yeah, a more level playing field is much needed. There's also been updates in AI and AI with immigrants and wanting them to be part of that. So yeah, what are some of those updates with artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so the key there is that the president signed an executive order on artificial intelligence, and it has 9 immigration provisions to continue to overhaul and improve the visa and green card framework for people, not just in AI, but actually in many types of emerging technologies. So we're going to see more of these concrete regulations rolling out in the next several months, but hopefully we're going to get more stateside visa processing. We're going to get faster adjudications for people working in AI. There might be something to recapture visa numbers from the visa bulletin to reduce some of those long backlogs that affect people from India and China. So there's a variety of things in there, and that's more of a forward-looking prospective endeavor, but they're really trying to get some of these good changes in a regulatory fashion where there's some gravity to them, so that if Biden is a one-term president, some of these good changes that would help America recruit and retain the world's most brilliant people would linger even in a subsequent administration.
I like it because, everyone's talking about the buzz of AI, the future is AI. And I think America wants people to come be a part of developing the future of AI. And hopefully this will facilitate that, right?
Exactly. Lawmakers are waking up to the fact that we really want the next Google, Tesla, SpaceX to be built on American shores and not elsewhere. And they're realizing that immigration is one of our best tools to help ensure that that happens. So it's very exciting for immigrants.
Yeah. So if you're into AI, America is going to be the place for be. And hopefully they're going to make it easier for you to be here for that too.
Absolutely. This is us saying as a country, we want you. And we haven't really heard that narrative in immigration law very much. So it's really exciting that we're finally extending the welcome mat.
Yeah. Welcome to America. Hey friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chine Coaching, we're all about helping you be successful in your cross-cultural journey with studies, work, and especially immigration and visas. And we have an expert immigration attorney, our friend Sophie from Alcorn Immigration, author of her new amazing book, which we'll also be talking about as well. We're going to be breaking down big visa and immigration updates, key highlights from her book, which are going to be so helpful for you. So Sophie, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Rob, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, everybody. My name is Sophie Alcorn. I write for TechCrunch, the Ask Sophie column. I'm the author of the best-selling Ask Sophie, the Founder's Guide to U.S. Visas and Green Cards, Greencards. I'm a certified specialist in immigration and nationality law by the State Bar of California Board of Legal Specialization, and I am the founder of Alcorn Immigration Law in Silicon Valley, where we help the world's most brilliant and highly motivated people and companies help secure visas and green cards so folks can live and work legally in the United States and build the amazing technologies and companies that are really changing the world. So thank you so much for having me here today.
I love the success stories of your immigration firm. I know you guys are one of the top rated ones there in the Bay Area. I love referring people to you guys, and a new resource to refer to now. I've read about half her book. I can't wait to cover the rest, but
Thank you.
incredible charts. There's 67 questions to ask your immigration attorney. If this is your goal, this is the path. Like, everyone needs to read this before coming to America, or if you're in America as a foreigner. But Sophie, I want to know, just as we get started and continue more and cover more highlights of this book and the secrets that you kind of unveil in here, why did you write this book? What was your inspiration for crafting this?
Thank you so much. I love writing. I love sharing knowledge and information. My goal is to build a world in which every child has the chance to grow up and self-actualize and do their one thing that helps them be in a flow state when they grow up and become a professional, so that they can build that thing that's going to help move humanity forward. So I want everybody to be able to create. And so part of that involves US immigration. And I love sharing knowledge and resources, and I can't help everybody in the world one-on-one, and not everybody necessarily has the resources, right, to engage with an immigration attorney yet. And so this was really the culmination of a body of work that has gone into my hundreds of TechCrunch articles, but I rewrote it, brand new content, because I really wanted to use this choose your own adventure framework, because everybody's journey is different. And so I tried to really break it down in a pragmatic way with no jargon. Yeah, exactly. So if then, if this is your goal and you're here now, here's how to do this. And so my objective was to give everybody that initial foundation to be able to do the research, to be able to do the planning, to be able to ask the intelligent questions, so that you feel empowered, that there's a path for you. Because that was one of my biggest revelations in starting my law firm 8 years ago. There's actually tons of viable legal immigration options, but you just have to be able to know how to use them.
Totally. And our immigration system is beyond complicated, and this book breaks it down into understandable terms. You don't get bogged down in legal jargon. So, this is a great tool and resource for people. One of the chapters that I dug into a lot was the green cards. I think a lot
Yes.
of people have that as an end goal. That's the vision that
Yes.
people are hoping for. So what would you say, and what do you kind of highlight in your book, or what are the future expectations of green cards, especially for our Chai and coaching community?
Wonderful. So green cards are permanent residents. That's your ticket to one day becoming a citizen and just being able to do your own thing in the United States. There are many paths up the green card mountain. Some people from some countries can be in a green card lottery, but not India and China. People are told, well, just go marry an American. Other people wait for some benevolent company to have the fortune of getting them through the green card process. But I believe in self-responsibility, and that we all have the ability to create abundance and contribute. And so some of the main takeaways in this book chapter are all about how to get your own green card based on either your past accomplishments or how you're going to help America in the future. So the EB-1A green card for extraordinary ability is best for people born in India and China, because the backlog is the least in that category. For other folks from other parts of the world, you could have an easier pathway, because, sorry, we have a racist and unfair immigration system. So we just have to deal with it until we can get the law changed. But the other option is to explore national interest waiver green cards, which are a little bit of a lower standard, and it's more about how you are going to help America in the future with your startup or other endeavors. So there's a lot of ways to do this. And with a few months, or if you want to go more slowly, just a couple years of effort, but actually effort that propels you forward in your career and your business endeavors, you can also get a green card by yourself, and you don't have to rely on a boss or a marriage, and you can just do your thing. So that's like what I want everybody in the world to know. I want every student to know that this is possible.
Yeah, and there is some great tips in your book too, just even how to maximize those down or in between times, or those preparation times. There's always things you can be doing. They're going to move you forward to get you ahead, to take those next steps, and lots of practical tips in the book for that.
Exactly. And then one of the things that I love about the Chai and coaching community is how supportive you are. And of course, there's a huge human layer around all of this too. People have imposter syndrome, they procrastinate, they have to deal with US fake it till you make it thought leadership values, which are so different than the humility that's rewarded in other cultures. So this takes self-growth for sure, but it's absolutely technically possible. And there are rich rewards from going through this exercise of self-branding to qualify you for a green card beyond the green card. It's a wonderful way to let people know how you're creating value in the world, and it'll attract business and new opportunities in so many ways.
And yeah, I think I'm so glad that Chine Coaching gets to be a part of helping people just like you guys at your firm. And I know at your firm you help all sorts of immigration challenges, but kind of your specialty, your niche is founders, tech entrepreneurs, especially being in the Bay Area. I know that's kind of the special audience for your book as well. So in 2023, 2024 coming up, what's your best advice for immigrant founders and tech entrepreneurs to consider?
In 2023, my advice is whatever you want, try to get it done before the end of 2024 because we don't know what the future holds. And we know we're in a pro immigrant, favorable administration right now. So, to the extent you can knock out any of these goals within the next year, I think it's really important timing and seize that
Hmm.
opportunity. Along those lines, nothing is possible until you believe it's possible. So educate yourself and don't just write it off as like, oh, I can never do that. Read my free articles on the website, even if you're not going to buy the book, that's fine. But just if living and working in the US is one of your life goals, you can create a very pragmatic checklist of to dos to be able to make it happen. And I would say the sooner you start, the better.
Definitely. Yeah. I think even I love that you said even before you come to America, you can get started, or as a
Oh, yeah.
student, before you
Oh, yeah.
graduate, you can get started. So don't think that
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to already have a job to get started on these kind of things.
And even if
So
you're going to come to the US to enroll in grad school in a year, you can do stuff in your home country now that will actually pave the way for a work visa even before you graduate. So, by being
mhm.
intentional, you can open up a lot of new possibilities and also increase your earning power.
Definitely, definitely. My friends, if you've been learning a lot, hit that like button to say thanks and cheers to Sophie sharing her wisdom, her advice. We got some great more topics to cover as well. And our chai question for you guys is what kind of visas are you working towards? Let us know in the comments. I'm sure it's been covered in this book. So let us know in the comments, and we'd love to see what questions you have and maybe share more resources on those specific visas. So let us know. So, Sophie, a minute ago, you talked about, especially for founders, hey, focus on things now. We don't know what the future is like. But in general, how would you say immigration has been under the Biden administration, and maybe what can people expect for this next year?
The Biden administration has really been about cleaning up immigration backlogs and creating more e-filing opportunities for students and more premium processing and just trying to streamline the bureaucracy so that people can get back on track with having faster visa and green card adjudications. So we're going to expect more of those changes to be implemented over the next year and to get some of that solidified by regulation. Obviously regulations can change,
Mhm.
so we're just waiting with bated breath. But one thing that I do take solace in for high skilled and technical professionals and people pursuing higher education in the US is the common theme between the prior Trump administration and the Biden administration is this acknowledgement that for America to retain its leadership in the world of technology, we really need to welcome the world's brilliant and hardworking students and professionals to our shores.
Mhm.
So I am hopeful that these pathways will remain open for you, but I would urge you to act sooner rather than later to take advantage of what is potentially an easier environment right now.
Yeah, you guys watching these videos as potential or current immigrants, you guys are the future of America's success. And we know we have some things that are very archaic in our immigration systems, decades old. Hopefully, these small changes keep making things easier, better, more welcoming. And yeah, we can keep hoping and praying for that. And we need you guys here in America. So there's great places like Alcorn Immigration that can help you with that. This book covers a lot of those pathways for reaching different goals as students, professionals, immigrants, non-immigrant intentions. Maybe what are a couple of those lesser known visa pathways that
Oh, these
people
are always
might not be
fun.
familiar with, especially coming to the US?
Okay, I have two recommendations for people. First of all, is this new thing we mentioned at the beginning. If you already have an H-1B at a tech company, you can be liberated now to go build your startup. We can help you. It's easy, which is really great. Another lesser known variation on the H-1B is we can actually get people H-1Bs without the lottery. You need two concurrent H-1Bs. Your first one has to be for a university, a nonprofit affiliated with a university, a research organization, but we've successfully paired this for tons of people. So they have a part-time public interest type of job for maybe 5 hours a week, and then their full-time employer can come in and sponsor them for a job in private industry, and they don't have to worry about the lottery. And so if you don't get selected in the lottery, you don't have to leave. So that's really amazing. The other less known tool that I'm also really loving is for people who get qualified for an O1 visa for extraordinary ability. We've taken something from the arts and entertainment industry, which is to have your O1 be sponsored by an agent so that you can have an itinerary of services. So we've ported that model over to tech and other business
Nice.
endeavors. So it's great because you can actually have work authorization in your field of expertise. So you don't have to stick with one employer. So you can have startups that succeed or fail. You can do consulting work. You can get a gig on a project to do some short-term work at some company. And all of that becomes legal and you don't have to continually amend your O1. So I'm really loving that option as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the O1. I've got several friends who've gotten it. It's a great, if you run out of OPT or H-1B runway, and you can even begin building your profile as a student, as a master's student.
Oh
I think
yeah,
you need at least 3 out of those 8
exactly.
criterias, right?
I've even had
Um,
undergrads who don't have work authorization legally volunteer to build up all sorts of accomplishments and become
mhm.
qualified for an O1 before they ever have work permission. So, absolutely possible.
Yeah, so learn about the O1, and you mentioned about the H-1B. Could you clarify what cap and non-cap means? Because that might clarify the
Right.
lottery aspect.
The cap refers to the 85,000 visa limit per year. There's a limit, a cap on the number of H-1Bs that the government can issue every year. Demand is usually at least 5 times that. We saw a lot more this
Mhm,
year. So a cap subject H-1B would typically be for a private for-profit company where you're typically supposed to go through the lottery. A cap exempt H-1B is one that's for a certain organization that is not required to put their employees in the
mhm.
lottery. So by pairing this cap exempt H-1B at a nonprofit affiliated with a university or research institution, plus private employment at a for-profit, neither organization has to go through the lottery for you to retain both jobs at the same time. So it's very effective.
Yeah, so there are H-1Bs available without the lottery and the risk of not getting it. So be sure to learn more about that, check that out.
And I
And
want
and
more
so
employers to know about that. And most
Mhm.
employers don't know about it yet. So you can actually educate your employer that this is an option. And I have lots of resources that we can share with
I
you
love
on that
it.
as well.
Sophie, what is a quick just success story that you guys have been able to be a part of recently?
We've had so many. I feel so blessed and so grateful, but we've had amazing successes for like early stage founders doing generative AI new projects and small business owners and people working in big tech who are sick of waiting for their employer to get around and start their green card process and they need a priority date. So we're getting approvals all the time and I feel so grateful. I have an incredible team that I adore of really experienced attorneys and paralegals who have just devoted their lives and careers to becoming experts in all of this. It's thrilling every day when I get to log in and see who got approved next. So we're always celebrating.
I love it. I love it.
Can I brag about something from yesterday? I just was looking at our metrics and I can't guarantee the future as a California attorney, But we were looking at our metrics for 2023 cases, and we calculated that so far we've had a 99% success rate this year. So I was over the
Whoa.
moon seeing that statistic yesterday. Yeah. Thank you.
That's awesome. So my friends, again, Sophie's book, Ask Sophie, based on her column at TechCrunch. So much information. If you're planning to come to America, read this book. If you're in America and want to have a future in America, read this book. We'll have the links to share where you can pick this up on Amazon. I'm a big fan. I can't wait to finish reading it. Sophie, thank you for your hard work and this guide to reach more people, clarifying the visa immigration process, and hopefully making more dreams come true here in America.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all you do to help this amazing global community.
Thank you. Yeah, it's my pleasure. My friends, thanks so much for tuning in here. Make sure to connect with us online on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn. I know Alcorn has a great newsletter. They do a lot of live webinars as well. Make sure you're subscribed to our Chai Coaching newsletter, where we promote and educate on a lot of great resources like this. We love having you be part of our community. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.